Hi, my name is Cam Riley, and this is Conflict in the Workplace. Conflict is a normal part of any workplace. When it occurs, there is a tendency for morale to be lowered, an increase in absentee in employees, and an overall decrease in productivity. Even though you may just be the type of employee who stays away from conflict, recorded by the Human Resources Department at the University of Oklahoma, managers spend about 25% of their time resolving conflict, so and thus conflict does take away from the entire organization, even if it's not directly you who is involved in the conflict. There are many things that can cause conflict in a workplace. YFS magazine states that conflict that most businesses will encounter are difference in personalities, difference in values, leadership conflicts, and work style difference. Difference in personalities. We all come from different backgrounds and experiences, which play a role in shaping our personalities. When employees fail to understand or accept the differences in each other's personalities, problems arise in the workplace. Different values. Why a person is working at a certain place is seen clearly when a generation gap is present. Young workers may possess different workplace values than older workers. When you have two employees with different values working side by side, conflict can occur. Leadership conflict. Dealing with different leadership styles may cause irritation and confusion. Work style differences. Everyone has a different style of working to complete an assigned task. If you understand that people have different styles of working, then you can better manage employee conflicts as they arise. I can recall numerous times throughout my life where I was affected by conflict in the workplace or at school. One incident occurred at work when I arrived 15 minutes late for work one day. My supervisor decided to write me up due to being late, but on previous days ignored the fact that other employees had also arrived late. After I spoke about it to a few of my coworkers, everyone began to get angry at the fact that I got wrote up for something that everybody does on a daily basis. People began to gossip and started expressing their feelings towards my supervisor for writing me up. Later that day, I could feel the tension between me and my supervisor. It felt like he knew I was going around complaining about getting wrote up for being late. The morale and cohesion began to sink that day, and a lot of workers wasn't motivated anymore. But the truth is, I had to just told one coworker about being written up, and it turned into gossip that got back to my supervisor. According to the U.S. News and World Report, there are 10 steps that I also agree with that solves conflicts in the workplace. 1. Tackle the issue after both parties have calmed down. 2. Maintain a positive outlook. 3. Practice active listening. 4. Ask the other person to suggest a solution. 5. Consider your role in the conflict. 6. Organize a staff meeting. 7. Seek first to understand. 8. Acknowledge others. 9. Alert human resources. And 10. Be introspective. If you're working on a group project and find that one of your team members isn't pulling his or her weight, it's best to discuss the issue before it escalates. Talk to your partner. But remember, clear your mind of any negative thoughts. By you approaching the situation or discussion with negative expectations, you may unwillingly exploit the very reactions you are trying to avoid. Pay attention to your partner. Ask questions. Try to understand the other person's perspective and acknowledge the emotions that both of you are experiencing. Agree on a solution that both parties will be satisfied with, and then discuss a plan for next steps. Like the example I gave earlier about being written up for being 15 minutes late, the best thing that I could have done in this situation is to resolve it was to just simply speak with my supervisor and see if we could have came to an understanding and see if we could find a common ground. To overcome conflict, you must understand that conflict is bound to happen in any situation where you're dealing with more than one person. And it's normal because everyone is not always going to agree with something, and it's okay to agree to disagree.